Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle and I'm doing a reading for fire signs today, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius in all placements. And it's timeless and general, so take what resonates. And if it really doesn't, feel free to check out any of my other videos. They are all timeless and all placements as well. I'm going to start with the wisdom of the oracle and get the baseline of the story and then clarify with some other decks. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing and helping my channel to grow. I am so grateful. And Rebecca is here and the sun. Not quite the first. Close. Yeah, all right, here we go. Let's dive in. Oh, we've got Treasure Island in protection. Number 9. Protection just means reverse. Imagine in protection number 20. And by the book number 11. Put these here so you can see them. Oh, and that kind of works out with the reversed ones. Okay, so let me dive into my book real quick. Treasure Island and protection. I feel like it has something to do with having like a scarcity mindset, like a lack mentality. Let's see. Yeah, poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough cast a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectations? Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that others will want to cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in a fear that you will lose what you have acquired? So you hold on so tight that you miss the opportunities to expand. You are challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitations to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your confinement in a prison of your own making. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. Now, yeah, so nicely, I did know what that was about. So these two speak to this poverty consciousness as something that you're dwelling in. You're repeating the story over and over again. You're using your imagination. Essentially, you're using it against yourself. Our imagination is an amazing tool, and it's what we use to manifest what we want. And it starts by visualizing and imagining. And it could be where you're addicted to thinking about kind of the more negative stuff. There's all the kind of what ifs, the worst case scenario kind of stuff, kind of thinking. And this is really speaking to needing to get a handle on your brain, on your imagination. And it starts with awareness. It starts by recognizing when you're thinking about things that obviously make you feel bad. That's usually when you can tell something's wrong. If you're in a story, if you're imagining something and you're like getting more and more depressed or anxious or angry or whatever it is, whatever feelings are coming up for you, this is a reminder to it's it's about being aware and then using that as a compass, using your thoughts, your feelings as a compass to point you in the opposite direction. Well, I feel bad because I keep thinking about how I don't have enough money. I might not be able to pay my bills. I might end up destitute on the street. Okay, what's the opposite of that? I have more than enough to cover all my expenses plus have extra left over to, to do what I want. Um, and it sounds very simplistic, but ultimately what you need to do is retrain your brain. And so it takes a minute. Like one time is not going to do much. You have to practice. And eventually, when you keep catching yourself and doing this, and it helps to put like notes around your house, make a list, every time you think something, write it down, and then write down the opposite so that you can like physically see what that is. It helps to retrain your brain, basically, because right now what you are doing is working against you. With by the book, this is, you know like, look up, and there's so much information about how to manifest what you want, the law of attraction, um, kind of using your imagination to work in your favor, creating vision boards, maybe like join a mastermind group, or get together with your friends and like practice, um, like envisioning, things. Like I did this one exercise, um, with a teacher and one of her students, where we like we took turns talking to each other about the third person as if they had already achieved the thing they really wanted. And like, oh yeah, so and so like has done really great and is super successful, and this is what it looks like. And so, it helps that third person kind of like hear it from a different standpoint, from a different vantage point, like, oh, people are talking about what I'm already doing. And remember that the brain does not know the difference between what you imagine and what is actually happening in front of you. And so you can really make that work in your favor. Um, but it takes practice. Anyway, oh, Redbeard made it. And Ophelia Star is here too. Hello, you guys. Thanks for joining. So let's dive in. Let me go with the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Okay, we've got Three of Pentacles. And Sam Stafari is here. Hello. I hope Seattle is good this morning. King of Pentacles. And Strength. Leo energy. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is this is real. This is amazing. This is lining up exactly with what I was talking about. So this is going to involve, to really help you in this, kind of get a handle on what's going on in your life, in your mind. You need to enroll your friends in this sort of, I don't know what you want to call it, like, you know imagination, uh game, because it's going to it's ultimately going to help both of you, or all of you if it's a group, to see things in a different way, to see things from each other's perspective. um this is not about you just trying to figure something out on your own. And that King of Pentacles, I mean, the King of Pentacles, this is an energy of super abundance, of having more than enough, and having worked for it. Like, put in the work, put in the effort. And the King of Pentacles, if nothing else, has overcome that poverty consciousness, that lack mindset, in order to be able to rise up and be on top. And it's like with strength, it's it it's ultimately making friends with that beast inside. The beast being that part of you that keeps feeding you the fear, the fear of what if, what's to come, oh no, all the worst case scenario thinking. And it simply is coming from this part of your ego that's trying to keep you safe. And unfortunately, it's working against you. Typically, the way that I think about it is this is the part of us. We all have it. It comes from the wounded child. And what that child actually needs is love and support, and to be comforted and reminded, like, it's going to be okay. I say this sometimes, you have made it through 100% of your worst days. So whatever you're facing, whatever you're dealing with, you're going to make it through this too. And I feel like there's this is about overcoming this part of yourself, not through berating yourself, not through trying to push it away and pretend that it's not there. And there's a term that I heard recently called toxic positivity, where you pretend everything's fine all the time. That is not what you want to do. You want to embrace the part of you that feels afraid, and recognize, like, where is it coming from? Where did it start? But ultimately, um, give it give that part of yourself the love that it never got before. And that is one of your keys to rising up and being abundant. But again, it takes practice. So enroll your friends, get your friends involved, and be like, hey, I have this crazy idea. I watched this crazy tarot lady, and she mentioned blah, blah, blah. So let's try it. Yeah, get them on board. So let me go with the Tarot of Transcendence. Oh, thanks, Rebecca. The Tower. And isn't this tower interesting with all the money flying everywhere? Like, this is very much focused on your finances and your money and trying to get a handle on it. What's interesting about this tower is, like, typically with towers, like, people are like falling out of the tower or jumping or whatever to their death. For some reason in this card, this looks to me like, rather than a tower crumbling, it's like somehow like, I almost get this vision of like a dam bursting, but instead of water, it's money. Like, somehow something has been holding back all, all the the finances, the good fortune, and there's a break in that. Like, something releases it, and these people look like they're jumping for joy. I can't- yeah. Okay, so then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Man, yeah. It's so interesting how the cards are really, really lining up here. And then the Two of Cups. Um, you potentially have somebody here who um, is a really good ally, is a really good partner, friend, like, whether it's romantic or it's a family member, a friend, um, some kind of confidant. It speaks to having some kind of epiphany because of working on something, or maybe it's something that happens that kind of leads you to realize that you got to put in the effort to get what you want. You got to keep working, on building your skills, your knowledge, doing what it takes to get to the top. The king, he like I said, he's abundant because he put in the effort, um, and learned how to get on top. That savviness comes from following, the following the path that somebody else has already paved. There's no need to reinvent the wheel here. And now this could also be where through kind of getting on top of your finances and really understanding, like, whatever like whatever you're doing here, including working on your mindset, like, it involves work, but it can be a very pleasurable experience. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Like, you can enjoy the experience while you're doing it. And this could potentially bring in, it's like, as it's okay, so the different parts of our life are all connected, right? We are an ecosystem. And when you start to work on your mindset around your finances, you might find that other things start to improve, like your relationships, like a relationship with someone in particular, or you kind of attract someone in. Say you've been single, and then you're working on your money, you're working on your mindset around money, and then somebody shows up, and it's in another realm, but it's still all connected because it's all part of, you know start of kind of getting on top of that stinking thinking, and being more positive in general, because there is a ripple effect. So somehow there's going to be someone here who is either going to be a result of, or is going to be a part of, you kind of moving to the next level, you expanding, um, starting to see that wealth and abundance. Okay, I'm going with the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot. Okay, we've got the Six of Wands. Love it. The Emperor. Dang, that's Aries. Yes. And the Seven of Cups. Interesting. Why? Why the Seven of Cups? The Fool. Again, we have Aries. um, this seems to be. This is basically speaking to getting some kind of, getting your accolades, your rewards, gaining that victory, through taking control of your mind, of which by extension, wait, is that the right way to say it? Which, like, basically getting a control of your mind and your life, um, because the only other character that is more abundant than the King of Pentacles is the Emperor. The Emperor has mastered his ability to make the effort, to put in the effort where he needs, to follow his passions, to um, be very honest and truthful about where he's at, where he wants to go. And I'm saying he because Emperor and King, anybody can embody this energy. We all have masculine and feminine. Um, hey, JoJo made it. Yay. Thanks for joining. But, there's very much this energy of stepping into your power and being acknowledged for it, being seen. And I feel like there's a need to, like, I often see the Fool as a very positive energy because it's all about like taking a leap of faith, being very optimistic and excited and just going for something. But I feel like this is speaking to wanting to rein in this kind of energy, because the thing about the Fool is he doesn't plan very well. He doesn't think things through. He just jumps. And what that can do is cause confusion. Um, is kind of, it can take you down the wrong path where you don't, I don't know, like you don't understand what you're looking at, or you feel like this is such an interesting card because this guy, he's like wearing the mask and he's got the skull in his hand and he's looking down at this creature, and it's like I feel like this is that part that I was speaking to. The part of you that you are needing to or working on overcoming. This is about needing to embrace the beast and make it your friend, your ally, rather than wearing a mask as a way to pla- placate that part of yourself. Pretend you're something you're not. Um, I don't know. I feel like there's some kind of message here I'm kind of missing. But ultimately, this right here, this is about certain victory as long as you can get a handle on this kind of impulsive side of you, that potentially causes you to make choices that keep you stuck, that keep you in that continuing to live in that lack mentality and that poverty consciousness. Because when, sometimes we can be feeling like really stressed and like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, and then we kind of just want to like rebel against that, and then we make poor choices and we're like, well, I'm just going to go and spend some money that I don't have because like whatever. I just can't deal with being stressed about things right now. And then that just gets you deeper into the hole. It gets you more stuck than you already were. And this is about taking control of that part of yourself. Okay. So I'm going to go with the Neoteric tarot. Neoteric feminine. 10 of Wands. Justice. Libra energy. And the Eight of Pentacles again. Yeah, see, once again, this speaks to dropping this burden that you've been carrying that could very well be in your mind. There's certainly, your mind has something to do with it, because when you drop this, I don't know, maybe there's something about feeling like you need to live a certain life, show up in a certain way, keep up with the Joneses. You somehow think that in order to be liked, you have to have a certain amount of stuff, um, present in a way that you impress others. Whatever this burden is, whatever you've been carrying that is so heavy, and it can be any number of things, those were just examples. Um, it's going to balance the scales. You're going to get your justice. Because it forces you to realize that what you get in life comes from your own efforts. And for some reason you've been carrying something that has been working against you, that's been doing the opposite. It's been taking your energy, it's been taking your time, it's left you feeling depleted, and it's about closing out this cycle. That's where the justice happens. Cutting away what doesn't serve anymore and really focusing on what you love, what fulfills you. And like, when you put your efforts towards something that you actually feel like you can get something back, something out of, then that builds momentum in a positive direction. So let me go with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Hey, Cora made it. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I missed Linda yesterday. I'm trying to keep an eye on everyone. Okay, so we've got change number, what is that? 35. Big change. And growth, number 5. And 5 is the number of change. It represents, yeah, transition, changing in a major way, ultimately for the better. And faith, number 31. Um, Embracing this change, changing up your mindset, changing how you do things, how you spend your money, how you spend your time. Um, this this is all leading to this growth, this inner growth that reflects in your outer world. You start to see the the results of the effort that you put in. And again, it takes practice, like I was saying, which is a part of what this work, these 8 of Pentacles have been about, is really making the effort to change your mindset. And a part of that is learning to have faith. It's easy to have faith when everything is going well. Um, but faith is really, um, when it's most challenging to have it, is when things are difficult and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you don't know what's going to happen, what's around the corner. Things feel bleak. It's darkest before dawn, that kind of thing. Like, or better to say, it feels really dark and there will be no dawn. But faith is about understanding that the sun will rise, that things will get better, that change is inevitable. This too shall pass. Um, I feel like this is speaking to the growth that you are potentially going to go through as long as you're willing to put in the effort, and know that this is about taking the world by storm. You have some lofty goals, I believe. You know what you want, and it's about wrangling that part of yourself, um and kind of getting it to work for you, making, like I said, making it your ally so that um you can really make that lasting change and put your roots down. Something about putting your roots down, because we have the earth here twice. Maybe this involves relocating, um, or reaching out to others in the world. Maybe the internet. Maybe using social media as a way to make more connections. Somehow this change, it's like bringing color into your world where it felt really gray before. Learning to ground yourself, and especially people with fire in their chart, tend to be just kind of, it's like fire, it's like just out there, just kind of cha- almost this chaotic energy. It's very intense and wants to grow and wants to move. And there's a, especially with all the pentacles here, there's a need to just bring it down, bring yourself into your body, do the things that you need to do, um, physically, taking those steps. Um, and usually, like, we know the very next step that we need to take, even if that's just like doing some research, reading something, listening to a podcast or, interview or something. Anyway, let me finish with a rune card. Yes. Manaz. I mean, yeah. I love this card because it's like, oh, I'm with the person that I really enjoy. Like, it makes me think of this, where'd it go? The Two of Cups. And like, hey, let's go have some fun. Like, having somebody that you can that's going to help you enjoy the journey and be able to do things, like, you can do things together that are, yeah, that are fun. I don't know. Let me find the page. Let me read it. Where's my nose? These are not numbered. So there we go. Okay. Manaz is the symbol of both the human race and the individual self in the rune deck. It celebrates everything about humankind that elevates us: our intelligence, our compassion, our creativity, our artistry, and our ability to innovate. It is a symbol of the collective consciousness and values we all share. But at the same time, it is strongly associated with an individual's self awareness. And I was speaking to that, becoming aware of, like, your thoughts and how you think about things. If this rune appears, you are encouraged to think about your attitude toward others and what your unique contribution to the world is. What assistance or service can you offer others? There may be some conflict between your beliefs and the demands and expectations of your family or society, but if you continue to deny your true self, you will feel increasingly frustrated and isolated. Yeah, like, I feel like that's very much what these we're talking about. Study or the acquisition of new knowledge, the Eight of Pentacles that came up twice, is another key theme here. Perhaps further study is the way for you to find greater fulfillment. So, yeah, this is really about, I feel like, kind of reinventing yourself, getting your getting your thoughts to work in your favor, becoming self-aware and tapping into that collective consciousness, like actively being around others who can help you, get to where you need to go. Read those books. If there's something here for you to study, and it's going to help you get to that point of really, like, experiencing all the abundance that is rightfully yours. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks again so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.